Hi everyone, welcome back to Plum Mashable. So today I'm going to be using the Planners Anonymous Sail and Sea kit to do my weekly decoration. So if you want to see how I did it, then just keep watching. Okay, so we're going to be using Sail and Sea, and I've kind of got an idea in my head. Am I sure it's going to work? No, but I'm gonna try it anyway. So I want this gorgeous bit of paper, because I'm sort of thinking this is a little bit like the lawn fawn scene, but definitely not the same thing. I'm kind of thinking that we have like some wavy bits here that'll fold down. So I definitely don't need any more room, but I really want to use this paper, and this is the best way I can think of, because I want more than just a strip of it. I want like a big bit of the paper. And then I'm thinking behind it, I kind of do like a bit of this, which kind of ends up being the sand, and then I want to stamp out some of the houses and the lighthouse and those sort of things to kind of go on here. So there's my thinking. Whether or not this is going to work or not, I don't know yet. So I'm going to have it sort of sitting about here, because I don't need that much room. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to sit about here. Actually, we're going to go. No, we are going to go that way. So the problem is that this isn't going to be wide enough to go across both. So I'm going to have a little bit of, not wastage, but a little bit of not quite using it all, but that's alright. So I'm just going to put it there and just put a little tick mark. Gonna make a lot of noise. I'm going to get my paper trimmer in. I'm just going to trim down to that line. Okay, so there's going to be our first bit. I am going to do a little bit something more to it. It needs to have a different edging on it. It can't just have that edging. So I'm just going to work out again where that's going to sit. And my thought is always to have just a little bit too much, especially with like Planners Anonymous paper, where you're a little bit worried about wasting some. I'd rather have just a little bit extra and have a very thin slice to throw away than sort of make the size wrong. I'm going to do the same thing here, just make that the same size. There we go. Now they could not quite be perfect, but that's alright, I'll fix them up afterwards. And then going to grab my We Are Memory Keepers one. This one's got a wave kind of shape. Now I just need to remember which way the wave goes. I'm just grabbing just a bit of scrap paper, a wave here. So the wave goes, I want it to go that way, so it needs to cut. Oh, let's try that again. That's the top. Okay. So I'm just going to stick this in here. It's actually about the right size. Wouldn't you know it? So I'm just going to cut this straight down here, and that's going to give me that wavy edge. Now something that you cannot do with this trimmer is go back over, as she says as she messes it up. So I'll work out how to fix that up in a sec. And do the same thing here. Okay, maybe I can go back over. I probably messed it up though. Anyway, I'm just going to fix it with my scissors. I have kind of messed it up, but I'm just going to follow along with the cuts that I've made. They are there, but I'm just again showing why I don't like this trimmer. So then these are going to sit up here, and they're just going to flip down. I'm just putting that on. I think we'll use this washi. I think this is the nicest, although I could use a really wide washi. The skinny washi is obviously not going to be enough, but we'll go with this one. So I'm just lining these up, or just butting them up together. There's a little bit of excess here, but I'll cut it off after. And then we'll grab the washi. I'm just going to use a tinsy little bit of this just to hold the little bit down, because it keeps moving around. So if I hold it still, it won't do that. Just get that into the right spot, butting that up against each other. And I can go ahead and stick this together. So I'm just using the line at the bottom. There we go. Now I'm pushing that down really hard because I really want those two to stick together. And then obviously when we trim the excess off the edge, we'll trim the excess off the edge of the wave piece as well. So just come straight up the edge. And I'm just going to do it with scissors. I'm just going to go very, very slowly. And there we go. So there we go. We've got our little water bit. Now I'm just having a think actually. Damn, now she thinks. I do this a lot, I don't think. I kind of want, so there's two ways I could go here. I could really go completely over the top and kind of do, and I should have thought of this before. I could have had that whole bit sitting up the side and just gone the full hold, but I really do want to use the stamp. So that's sort of why I thought I'd go away from that. But I can either cover this whole thing up and have it as a bit and then have the sand sort of holding up at the top, and then you just put the day back in down here either with a box or something similar. I don't know if that's then, you know what, let's just go with it. No, because that's a little bit of wastage. So what I'm going to do is cut it to about the size of the box, and we might use a bit of ink to kind of background this up. I wasn't going to use the ink, but I think I will. So I'm just going to cut it sort of about, where'd that pencil go? There it is. About here. And I always like to work on one side first and then bring the other side in so that you can kind of get it right on one side before you start working on the other. Draw a very, actually I'm not even going to draw it, I'm going to have just put some, I'm just going to put a bit of a circle or a rounded edge just on the side here, just so that it doesn't look like just a straight line. It just looks silly that it plateaus out to this square sort of thing on the top. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of movement. I might have made it worse, but that's better. Because now it looks like an actual hill. So I'm going to go ahead and stick that down. I have to trim off a little bit on the edge and then punch the holes. And then we can starting to... Actually, before we stick it down, I am going to do just a teensy little bit of inking. And I'm going to do this really fast because you guys have seen me do this I don't know how many times. And I'm just going to put some clouds in the background. I'm just going to use tumbled glass and a bit of broken china. I'm going to go ahead and do it really, really fast and I'll be right back. So there's the left hand side. I'm going to do the exact same thing on the right hand side, and I'm going to speed through it just so you guys don't have to watch it twice. It's going to be exactly the same, except I might have this one kind of what's the word I'm looking for, taper down a little bit more, so it sort of looks like it's coming down into the middle, and that way I can have a boat. I have a plan for a boat. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back. Not 100% happy with this, but think once I start putting everything in, it'll be fine. So I'm going to grab and do two things really fast. I'm going to do the stickers for the days of the week. I'm just working out if I'm going to use the standard sticker kit or the extra sticker kit. I can't find my standard sticker kit. Where's it gone? There it is. Found it. I'm a whiner. I'm going to use the ones from the standard kit because I want to use all the different colours, especially when you use some of that red. I'm also going to grab the numbers out of the standard, the extra kit, sorry. So I'm going to go ahead and do that part really fast, and then we're going to work out how we're going to decorate these edges. I'm actually going to put the sundae just underneath. I haven't quite decided yet. I can't leave that. I don't think I can leave that like that. So I think I need to turn it into a little bit of sand. So I'm just going to add just a tinsy little bit of colour to this. I'm actually just going to use tea dye just because it's on my desk. And I'm not going to put too much colour on this. I'm just going to put just enough so that it kind of all blends in together. So that bit there obviously doesn't have anything for me to lean on, so I'm just going there. And like I said, I'll find a cover of some kind. I really want to use the little boat. There's like a boat stamp that I want to use. So I'm just going to really quickly put a layer of this tea dye on here. I do have another plan for a little bit of extra texture without using splatter, because you guys have seen me use splatter I don't know how many hundreds of times. But I'm being really messy with this because sand is messy. Sand is not perfect. Sand will never be nicely blended. So I'm being a little bit messy. But I am noticing that this is not transferring the way I want it to. I'm just going to go ahead and do both sides really, really fast. Now that I'm just about finished this side. Now that we've got that on, I'm just going to put sundae down here. I'm going to cover up the bits and pieces afterwards anyway. There'll be a box there or something, so that'll be fine. So I'll put the sundae just down there. I'm going to pull the Thursday up and do a little bit of blending on this side, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm still not loving this, but I'm hoping I can redeem it with a little bit of some bits. So we're going to start off with some of the stamping finally. Just going to move these off to the side. So I'm going to get the blending card that I like, and I'm just going to grab. I'm going to grab the lighthouse. I'm going to grab the bottle. And I'm going to grab that little boat on the ocean. We're going to stamp each of these out just using Memento ink. Now obviously I don't have dies for any of these, so I'm going to have to fussy cut them out, which is fine. The only reason I'm putting it onto the cardstock instead of going straight onto my page is because I do want to colour these in with Copics. And Copics will just go straight through, so there is just no point. Despite the fact that, at least on the right hand side, I've got my dot grid there anyway, but I just don't want to ruin the pages, so we'll colour it this way. Now with the bottle, I kind of want to use this on the front as a kind of different thing, but I do want to show you how you can add the stamps in, because I could really easily use the stickers and that would be fine, but I want to use it something different. So for for the ocean, I'm going to use these three. So I've got B26, B39 and B18. I'm going to do most of this really, really fast. So they're the blues I'm going to use, and then I'm going to use a couple of the reds for the lighthouse. And then for the bottle, I'm going to use my very, very, very pale blue, so B000 and B000 to kind of make it look like a bottle. And then I'm just going to use a couple of browns for the corks. So I'm going to go ahead and colour these really fast. I'm going to leave it in though so you can see, and hopefully that's okay, and I'll be right back. So I have finished colouring these in, and what I'm going to do really, really quickly is just cut them out. Just fussy cutting, nothing too fancy with it. I'm a little worried about how I'm going to do the boat, but it shouldn't be too hard. I really like the way these have come up. I'm a little worried about the lighthouse. I don't think that my shading was particularly good, but at the same time, it kind of just makes it look a little bit more realistic. Like the shadows look a bit more real. So I guess it's not too bad. I haven't decided yet if I want to put lights in the windows of the lighthouse. I'll come back to that. So I'm just going to go ahead and fussy cut this out, and I'll be back in a sec. Alright, so for the bottle, I decided to go right up against the edges, but I didn't do that for the other two, but we'll wait and see sort of how that looks. Alright, so we're going to tidy this up a little bit and start finishing her off, because I feel like this has gone on for just a little bit too long. I'm not particularly happy, I'm being deadly honest. I'm not the happiest with this. It hasn't quite worked out the way I wanted it to, but I'm just going to kind of deal with it. So I'm going to put the little boat, and this just happens to be right on top of the hole, but that's alright. I'm going to stick the little boat just above the hole, actually, just so it kind of sits above the little waves there. And then I'm going to put the lighthouse in the middle there. And then the bottle, I want to stick it on the waves. I want it to kind of be part of the waves. That's sort of what I'm thinking there. So I'm going to stick these down really fast, and then we're going to finish this off with stickers. Now, I could very easily have stamped out all of the cute bath boxes. I think instead I'm just going to put some on this hill. I'm just going to do that with the stickers because there are plenty of them. They are very, very cute though. So I'm just going to stick that up like that. Okay. I don't like this little corner thing. I'm going to think of something to do there. And then before I put this down officially, I'm just going to have a look. I kind of think it should be at the top of the hill, but at the same time I think it looks better. I think it looks better over here. So I'm just going to put her there. Alright. So just grabbing out, this is the extra sticker kit. I'm going to have some shells. Have birds, some of those, and then I'm going to grab that. I am going to keep out some of the boxes because I'm going to use them at the bottom as well. So, I want to have the Sail Away with me, and I'm going to put this at this top corner. And then I'm going to put some of these bathhouses just sort of along here. So I'm going to put 4, maybe 5 on this side. Just trying to make sure I don't use any that are the same. I'm going to put 4. Kind of want to use these shells, but now they look a little bit not quite the right size, do they? So just to add a little bit of detail to my sand, because it does look a little bit flat, I'm just grabbing a marker. Now this is a Crayola marker, so it's a water-based marker. It's kind of like my Tombos. Because I don't want to use my Copics, and there's plenty of distance between the... Sorry, I'm trying to do stuff and talk at the same time, can't do it. There's plenty of thickness between this cardboard and the paper, so I don't think the Copic would bleed through, but I think it's just easier just to use one of these kind of markers. And I'm just putting some dots, and it's just to make it a little bit grainy, because I don't think sand is ever just a flat colour. I have been through some beautiful beaches that have sort of flat colour sand, but I don't ever think it looks flat when you look at it closely. So I'm just, it's a bit of a random thing. Some of these are a bit bigger than others, kind of making it look like there's a bit of a pathway to some of the houses. And then I'm just going to do the same sort of thing over here, just to tie the two together. And then I'm going to put some boxes at the bottom, which will help here. I might just put a shell just on this side. So I'm going to use this blue. No, I'm not, because there's too much blue on here already. Maybe, sorry, I had a thought and then it kind of went away. I'm going to use this anchor. Just have that sitting on the sand. Sorry, I got distracted and forgot about my anchor. Hold on, we'll put him just down here on the sand. Just a couple more dots. I think that'll be fine. Alright, now I do need to put, obviously I can write all over the clouds. We've done that plenty of times before, but I do want to put a couple, oh, I forgot to put holes on here. I forgot my holes on this side. We are also going to have to just put some little notches in the wave bit of cardboard, so that way they can fold down while the pages are still in the planner, because you don't want them to have to come out. So I just put little snips in the side, and that way they can fold out and fold back in again really easily. Pretty sure you guys have seen me do this before, so it's not too difficult. And it doesn't have to be perfect at all. Okay, so I do want a couple of boxes down here at the bottom. I'm actually going to use some of the sort of coloured boxes as well. So I'm just going to put the blue one and then one of the sort of more decorative ones. So I'll go with the lighthouse next to it. Oh, I really like that lighthouse on the grey. And then on the other side I'm going to put one of the red ones with the treasure map. But I haven't quite decided yet what these are going to be. One of them will be my Happy Mail box. One of them will be my jobs to do. Kind of those sort of things. There we go. Now I need to cover up this bits and pieces. This is where we're going to pull in some more of the decorative stickers. So, I almost want to use one of those rocks. I feel like it's a very simple way to do it, but we'll bring in a little bit of something at the bottom there. I want to put some seagulls in the sky, even though they're going to be slightly oversized. I think that's okay. this little bit of driftwood at the bottom on the left. I need to bring some of that dots down here, don't I? I'm going to put a little boat, like a little abandoned boat down here on the corner. And just a couple more dots on the sand here at the bottom just to sort of bring that all together. So just a few, nothing too over the top. Now I'm happy to admit this isn't the best one I've ever done. There's something just not quite right with it. I've tried to use the stamps as die cuts and I don't think that's quite worked. I think it's ended up looking just a little bit, I don't know, a little bit too try hard, if that's the right word. I do like it when it's shut. I'm not a big fan of it when it's open. I need to find something to put here. And I don't know, sometimes they can't all be winners. And I know I've said that more often than I should have in the last couple of weeks, but that's sort of how I feel about this one. I don't know if it's because I haven't had this in my collection for so long, so maybe I'm not quite feeling it. I love the collection. I think it's gorgeous. It's just something's not clicking with me. I really like that quote up there, actually. That's worked out really nicely. So I'm not 100% happy with how this one's turned out, but it's not the worst one I've done. I really do like the seagulls in the sky, and I do like the beach. I just don't like, I don't like that this finishes. I maybe should have committed to using the whole bit of paper, but I don't know. I've kind of lost all of Sunday, but I don't really do much on Sundays anyway, so it's not such a big deal. Not such a big deal. But let me know what you think, leave it down below, or you can find me on any of my socials. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and maybe let me know what you think I could have done differently. Don't forget to be subscribed to my channel too so you don't miss any future videos, and you can always go back and check any of my other Planners Anonymous weekly decorations. They're all in the playlist at the end. I hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you again in my next video. Sending lots of huggles. Bye!